Hello everyone, DonTheCrown here, back with a build update for the Zealot of War Ring of Blades character. Now we're not 100% done min-maxing by any stretch of the imagination yet, but we have made a lot of updates that do increase the amount of quality of life, speed, and damage for the character, even make gearing it a little bit easier as well. And I do want to get the update into your guys' hands, especially because I'm going to be out of town for the next couple of days. Tomorrow I'm flying out to LA to take part in the Diablo 4 event and be able to test out the new class over there. And so not going to be able to like do stuff in the game for a couple of days. So hopefully this video will help you out. Now, one of the big things we did change is that it's now going to be a lot just faster in general as you're running through the map. And it gets even faster than that. And the big change really comes here from changing our hero traits. So no longer are we going to use extreme heat, which kind of like caused us to kind of have to reload and like build up our damage. And it's kind of this like big roller coaster of damage. We're doing a lot of damage during burning red, and then we're doing like no damage while we're building up our overheat. And this felt pretty bad. And instead, we're going to use ceasefire. And what this does is when your overheat stacks get equal to your heat up stacks, you will just eat the overheat when you move. So as long as you stay moving, you never need to reload ever, which is a really good thing. We are also using this hero relic here. We're doing increase and decrease of movement speed is now applied to knockback. That makes us get more damage here from our last node all the way over there. And then this second node is really important. Start with max stacks of heat up, but do not reload ammo in the beginning. And so what this means is you're going to start in every zone in mobile mode with your full heat up stacks, and you can, just start running with them, or you can switch over to annihilator mode to build up your overheat faster, which is what I tend to do anyways. Now, one big note here is we are using Shackles of Mania. I know a lot of people are going to be using Bullet Storm to like really show off their DPS and make it as big as possible. The only time I would ever use this is if I was going into a very difficult boss. Because the reason for this is what this means is you need to basically like shoot through at least 60 ammo in mobile mode, or start off with your ammo like already consumed, and then you shift into annihilator mode and do a lot more damage. But then you cannot shift between the two freely, because every single time you shift, you would have to reload, which is just a huge pain in the butt. It's really anti-quality of life, so I don't like that. For the other hero memories here, we have movement speed, parabolic projectile split, is still double dipping. It's giving you 12 ammo as opposed to 6. It's the best stat you can get. We also have magazine capacity for more ammo capacity, which is nice. And I've managed to solo self-find myself a Create Endless Wars, which is very nice as well. This activates this over here, so our knockback distance is turned into damage. So once we get up to 400% knockback distance, this will cap out. But I think I'm having a kind of a difficult time getting that, except for heat up does give us additional knockback distance here. So probably when I'm in annihilator mode, it is working. Now, talking about gear real quick, gear has changed kind of quite a bit. Now we are using all legendaries, all orange, everything, at least for right now. Now, the big things you might notice right off the bat are we actually are going backwards in progression and using Voyager 2-piece here. And the reason for this is because it provides 2 projectile quantity. It's just ludicrous, absolutely insane. That's so much damage. That's 72% multiplier, because each projectile gives you 6 ammo, and every 6 ammo is basically 36% damage for 6 ammo. So it's nuts. And these give you like some good stats on here as well. And pretty much what I just did is look for a pair of boots that I could craft movement speed on. And then I happened to slam movement speed. You could totally make these a lot more perfect. I didn't really feel the need to do that per se, but it's definitely something you could work on here. For ring, we're using wind breath convergence. This basically only drops from the treasure realm chest. And they are pretty expensive if you're looking to buy them yourself. So what I recommend doing is going into your void chart here and just activating these nodes here. And this will give you the opportunity for a chest to spawn whenever you kill the boss area at the end of like the map basically, and the chest has a chance to drop that. So that is pretty good. Now the last item we've added is the clenched spring. Now this drops off of the new boss. It is relatively cheap for now, but it might actually go up in value here. And the reason for this is because these first 2 lines here don't actually affect us. So it says when casting the main skill, you inflict a stack of slow to yourself and to nearby enemies. And that sounds pretty bad. Like slow basically reduces your attack speed, your cast speed, and your movement speed by 6% for a total of 30%. When I first saw this, I thought it was horrible. I didn't even give it a thought. However, guess what? Ring of Blades does not count as continuously casting for this particular thing. So you only get one stack when you first cast your main skill, but then you don't continue to stack up at all. And you get to snapshot this particular buff here. So we get like skill area, which is multiplicative damage, and more damage here. I don't think this is multiplicative. I think it's just increased, but I could be wrong. And then I went intelligence, projectile skill level, and projectile speed. I think these are the best stats that you can get on this particular glove. Other changes I've made is on skills. Put guard in here. I think guard is pretty good. Increased area effects. Some people are telling me this isn't as good as I think it is. Haven't gotten around to testing it just yet. Frost shield so that we can do a little bit of cold damage to proc our blessings. I'll talk about in a bit. Fixate. I have activation medium to give it additional cooldown. This has a really short duration, but like a longer cooldown. So getting cooldown reduction gives you more overall uptime. And then elemental destruction here, we're going to probably get one that increases the duration just because it's almost at 100% uptime as it is right now. So that'd be pretty nice to have. And then we're using mana boil. Now mana boil does give us a lot of buff. However, it does eat your mana like all of the time, 5 mana per second, but we're able to generate mana thanks to a slate that we have. And then for the rest of the stuff, we pretty much are no longer consuming HP at all. And the reason for that is because if you reserve your HP, it's like your life basically. So 50% of all incoming damage is going to your life, which means you basically have whatever your current life is, and then only that much energy shield. So it only really cares about 3,000 energy shield for my particular character. So I could have quintillion energy shield, and a 7,000 damage hit is still going to go through. Half of that is going to go into my health and kill me. So yeah, you kind of like need to get your life up, and like having any reserve life is bad. I have a Soul Eater candle here. This makes us go faster, and it's just insane. This candle is insane for this build because you get damage is damage, skill area is damage, and movement speed. Guess what? Also damage, because the movement speed turns into knockback, which then turns into damage. So yeah, it's pretty good. Highly recommend this candle. And then we have max channel stacks, elemental resist. My resists are a little bit scuffed right now. Probably the best thing you could get here would be projectile quantity. We talked about slates real fast. My slates are kind of a little scuffed right now, but you do want one of these slates here that says restores 1% mana when casting a skill, because for some odd reason, this does work whenever you're channeling our Ring of Blades, whereas the gloves don't work. So it's a positive interaction here for us. I'm also stacking max energy shield per 5 intelligence a whole bunch of places, parabolic splits. I kind of want to like maybe move away from corners potentially. I think I could probably use some more like skill levels and things like that. Would be really good for the build. And this is kind of what we have for now. We have this combination here that gives us focus blessing stacks whenever we inflict frostbitten, which our shield helps us do. And then we have a chance to gain our other blessings when we gain focus. Now let's go through, let's run a map real quick to show you guys what the damage is looking like. And this is going to be with our magic find pets, if you would. Already rolled out a portal here for us. So here, I'll show you the pets that I have active just right now. And when you start off in the map, you're going to have your heat up right off the bat. And so you can just start running if you really, really want. I will tend to switch into Annihilator mode just for a smidge, but you don't necessarily need to do that, especially like as you get more damage. We're at the point now where the only things that really live are like those very tough elites, like that guy right there. And I just switch into Annihilator mode and things die. We have like probably some tough elite mods on here. Oh, we got caged. But for the most part, you can just run through the map. And as you kill more stuff, your Soul Eater candle is going to be stacking up more movement speed and damage and everything for you. So the faster you go, the faster you can go. It's kind of a glorious thing. Highly recommend just holding down the A key here so you pick up loot that you're running past. and you just kind of go. Now, nicely, like you can see, I've taken a little bit of damage to my health here, but our little frost pet does do kind of a heal to it over time. Now, note that these bosses are going to be a little bit tankier than normal, because that's the full Goddess of the Hunt setup right there. I'm testing out Goddess of the Hunt, and so that is like the fully juiced, almost as hard as you can possibly get boss for a map here in 8.4. And yeah, I think we're going pretty fast. I do kind of want to work on the survivability a little bit. I do maybe want to work on the damage, but like we've killed some of the top end bosses. Like we killed the Great Void dude here for a Tide Master. And so I do think that the build like can kind of do everything now at this point. There's definitely still some mods that are a little bit scary on beacons, like getting the little dome that's around enemies is pretty sucky. The one where it's like enemies take additively less damage if they're near a rare is pretty scary, but I think that one's bugged. I could be wrong. It just seems like enemies don't die if there's a rare nearby, and also the like enemies don't take they take 90% less damage from enemies that are farther than 5 meters away. And the reason that one's kind of annoying is because we don't have, I'm not currently using knockback direction is reversed, so we're just pushing enemies away from us, so we need to like sweep them into the corner and murder them, which is, you know, kind of a little bit annoying. But hopefully this video helps you out. I will put a code for the build code for this in the description down below. I'm going to click the flame, click pro builds, quick builds, and then click this button right here. It's really important that you don't put a space after the code if you're pasting it. And if you're copying it directly off YouTube, like maybe paste it onto a notepad and then like grab it a second time, or just delete the space off the end, because YouTube can do some weird stuff sometimes. So just paste it in there, and then you click view builds, and you'll be able to see this particular setup. And hopefully this helps you out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like I said, I'm going to be out of town going to LA to do the Diablo 4 thing for a couple of days. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any questions that I should ask them, and I'll see you guys again soon. Later.